Hello, my little children. What is going on? Today, I have a brand new deck profile. It's a deck we haven't covered yet. It is Burning Abyss. Now, a little background for this deck. It is based around a book written by this Catholic dude called Dante's Inferno. Basically, it's just about this dude, Dante's travel through the burning abyss, which is like the 7 rings of hell or something, and his adventure through there. It sounds pretty epic. I heard it's kind of boring, but, kind of a cool origin for a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. But, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh decks have a lot of really cool origins. What am I talking about? So, I'm going to start off. I'm going to explain the gimmick of the Burning Abyss monsters. Now, here's the deal. Burning Abyss, when there's a non-Burning Abyss monster on the field, they destroy themselves. So, you kind of, when you splash other, engines into this deck, you have to keep that in mind. And you kind of have to play around it sometimes, depending on, what variant you use, but sometimes it can be beneficial. So, not all the time, but sometimes. They have 2 effects. So, you can only use one of these effects per turn. So you could either special summon it from your hand, if you control no spell or traps. That's really good, but that means you can't use their graveyard effect, which is specific to each Burning Abyss monster. Like, for instance, Graph right here. By far the best, probably tied for the best Burning Abyss monster in your deck. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can immediately special summon any Burning Abyss from your deck, which is very, very good. So, he actually recently came off of the semi-limited list, which, back in, 2016, this deck was, the top, but it's 4 years later now. The meta's kind of shifted. Burning Abyss aren't as relevant anymore, so he can come back to 3. However, you'll see one card later on is still limited. I want it to be unlimited, but, So Graph, 3 of, basically summons any Burning Abyss from your deck when he's sent to the graveyard, which is very, very, very good. Next up, we've got Seer, also just came off the semi-limited list. His effect is similar to Graph's. You just special summon a Burning Abyss from your graveyard when he's sent to the graveyard, which is actually also very, very, very good. He's, tied for best, honestly. So, Seer and Graph are, your main guys. But for some removal, we've got Farfa here. Yes, the Irishman. We have, I think he's Irish. I don't know. We have Mr. Is he British? Oh, God. Farfa. Yeah, so Farfa basically just, when he's sent to the graveyard, you can banish any Burning Abyss monster. Or, no, what am I talking about? You can banish any monster your opponent controls. Or spell, just any card your opponent controls. It's not a complicated effect. Okay, it is monster. You can target one monster on the field and banish it until the end phase. There you go. Farfa's very good. He's just some good removal. Next up, this guy's a little hard to keep track of, but we've got 3 Skarm. Skarm, is a very good effect, but you have to remember to pull it off. And the end phase, specifically at the end phase, you have to remember this, he can add any level 3 Dark Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. Of course, this is when he's sent to the graveyard. That's actually really good. Just remember to pull it off during the end phase. Next up, we've got... Oh! Shoot. Knocked my camera down. I'm sorry. Okay. 2, Alec. Alec, if he's sent to the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on the field and negate its effects. That's very good. Very, very good. Just your opponent has to have a monster on the field, but that's fine. Negating a monster's effects is actually very good. And then 1 Libic. Libic can special summon 1 level 3 Dark Fiend from your hand, but its effects are negated. I mean, that's not too bad. It's not the best. It's just good. The reason he's here is just because we need another Burning Abyss, and he's, decent. Barbar's dumb, though. Barbar is definitely not in this deck. Barbar's very bad. In fact, I have a Barbar right here. He's not in the deck, just like, okay, Barbar's terrible. Look, if you send to the graveyard, target up to 3 Burning Abyss cards in your graveyard except Barbar, and banish them if you do inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each. That's terrible. That's, like, not good. Okay, if you use Dad in your deck, he might be okay for helping control the amount of darks in the graveyard. But we don't use Dad. I might splash Dad in here just because he's so good. But I'm going to leave him out for now. This deck seems to go very well. So this is not a current version. This is not PK Fire. I like using the non-PK Fire variant just to kind of surprise your opponent almost for the shock factor. Because your opponent's not going to expect Orphis Scorpio. Basically, the way Orphis Scorpio works, he's got his own Garnet too. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. So that's good for Burning Abyss. Send a Burning Abyss to the graveyard and special summon one Predaplant monster from your deck except Predaplant Orphis Scorpio. And it's a hard once per turn. You summon Cobra. Cobra's effect. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant monster, you can add one Polymerization spell card or fusion spell from your deck to your hand. So the way that's going to happen, so you're going to summon Orphis Scorpio by, like, discarding, I don't know, Farfa or something. Like, discard Farfa. And you're going to add... Oh my gosh, this camera just can't stay still. Okay. With that, with Predaplant Cobra, when he's special summoned, you're going to add a Shaddoll Fusion. This is a Shaddoll variant. You can probably, like, if you read the friggin' title of the video, you'd know. Shaddoll Fusion, you can add that from your deck to your hand. That's very good. He's just a good way to add that. Also, if you have 2 level 3s on the field, you'll see later you can make a Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. So that's some good synergy. I really like having the Predaplants in. I know it's unconventional, but it's really good. Anyway, let's introduce the Shaddolls here. 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog, he's a level 3. So, and when he's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add 1 Shaddoll from your deck to your hand. That's not that bad, especially because some of like Construct, for instance, I believe has an effect that has to do with the hand, like having a Shaddoll monster in your hand. One of them does. One of the Shaddoll fusions. We've got 1 Squamata. Squamata, when he's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add 1 Shaddoll from your, or you can send 1 Shaddoll from your deck to the graveyard. He's not bad. He's definitely not the best one. He's just there because we need extra Shaddolls. 1 Shaddoll Dragon. If he's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Some good back row removal for a dragon. He's not bad. And then last up, Beast. Beast is the best one because when he's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can draw a card. That's pretty good. So that's our Shaddoll. Those are our Shaddolls and Predaplants. Next up, we've got 3 Tour Guide. Tour Guide is very useful in this deck. It has amazing synergy. I think it was designed for Burning Abyss, frankly. I'm almost certain it was, because when it's normal summoned, it does take up a normal summon. You can immediately special summon 1 level 3 Fiend monster from your hand or deck, but negate its effects. Also, it cannot be used as synchro material. That's amazing synergy, because Burning Abyss, you're not going to really synchro summon with the Burning Abyss, at least on this variant, or any good variant. So, just summon a Burning Abyss and negate its effects so it's not destroyed when summoned. That's incredibly good. It came off the limited list, or ban list, or whatever, I don't remember, a while ago, I think. So, that's awesome. Fiendish Rhino Warrior. This card's amazing as well. So basically how he works is If he is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Fiend from your deck to the graveyard as well, which is very good. Also, Fiend monsters you control except Fiendish Rhino Warrior cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So he prevents, while he's on the field, he prevents the Burning Abyss from blowing themselves up, which is very good. So next up, last but not least, we have 3 Effect Veiler. The reason we have Effect Veilers in here is because it's a light, so we can make Construct with it, and it's a decent hand trap. So that's going to be it for our monsters here. We're going to move on to our spells now. We've got 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This card is very good. You can search it off of Cobra or Scorpio. And the way it works is if your opponent controls an extra deck monster, you can immediately summon a Shaddoll Fusion monster from your extra deck using material from your deck, which is very good. But if your opponent doesn't control a extra deck monster, which they definitely should have an extra deck monster on the field, you can summon it from like using Shaddolls in your hand, which isn't as good, kind of hard to use, but it's very good if your opponent controls an extra deck. This deck is going second, by the way, because Shaddoll Fusion and some other stuff. We've got Monster Reborn in here. This synergizes very well with the deck. It just literally revive a Burning Abyss, which you definitely will have, which is very good. Foolish Burial. This card is 100% the best, one of the best cards in your deck. Immediately just send any Burning Abyss from your deck to your graveyard. Just get a free Burning Abyss effect, basically. Mask Change number 2. So, this one's a little interesting. Basically, you discard a card, so discard a Burning Abyss, and then target a face-up monster you control that has a level, send it to the graveyard, so send a Burning Abyss to the graveyard, and then after that, if it left the field by this effect, special summon from your extra deck, one masked hero monster with the same attribute, so dark, but at higher level than its original attribute and level. If face down, the special summon monster is treated as a, So that's very, very good. Just immediately special summon Darklaw. Darklaw is like the best masked hero, one of the best hero cards, frankly. So that's really cool. We get to use Darklaw in this deck, which is awesome. And it synergizes super well because it sends a Burning Abyss from the deck to the graveyard. Darklaw prevents your opponent from sending any cards to the banish zone, right? Oh, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. That's very good. Also, if they add cards from their deck to their hand, except during their draw phase, or the damage step, you can banish one random card in your opponent's hand. That's super good. If they literally add anything, like if they use like Oviraptor or something, add to their hand, just banish a card from their hand. That's amazing. So Darklaw is like very, very good. Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is good for recycling. You'll find your graveyard gets pretty tall at times. So it's good to just recycle 5 Burning Abyss from the graveyard back to the deck and then draw 2 cards, which is very, very good. This I found it helped me a lot. So yeah, as I showed you, Darklaw's in the extra deck. Onto our Shaddoll Fusion monsters, we have Winda. Winda is a dark one. I love Winda. Winda's the best one. I'm just kidding, no. Winda's okay. Can't be destroyed. Yeah. Cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effects. That's not bad. Each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. Yeah. And while it's face up on the field, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a Shaddoll Fusion. So you can add Shaddoll Fusion back to the hand Also, each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. Or, can only special summon... Hold on. Yeah. Okay, that's confusing, because it says each player can only special summon monsters, and then it says once per turn while this card is on the field. Oh, yeah. Okay. I misread. Yeah. Each player can only special summon once per turn. It's very simple. So Winda's pretty good. But by far the best one is Construct. Construct, if it is special summoned, you can send one Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. That's very good. You just get a free Shaddoll effect. And at the start of the damage step, if it battles a special summon monster, immediately destroy it. Also, if this card is sent to your graveyard, you can, so all the Shaddoll fusions at recycle, just put Shaddoll fusion back in your hand when they're destroyed. That's very good. Construct's amazing. And then we've got Shekanaga right here. Shekanaga is the earth, so you can make it with, like, Fiendish Rhino Warrior if you want to. When a special summon monster activates its effect, while you have a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can negate the activation, and if you do destroy that monster, then send the Shaddoll from your hand to the graveyard. It's actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. You just have to make sure you have a Shaddoll in your hand. I was wrong. It's not Construct that has to have a Shaddoll in your hand. It's Shekanaga. So you'd summon Shekanaga like if you have a Shaddoll already in your hand. And it is basically a negation of a monster effect. Which is very good. And if it is sent to the graveyard, it still has the same add a Shaddoll spell or trap from the deck to the hand, or the graveyard to the hand. Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, you're going to run one of him. His nickname's Purple Dante. I like calling him by his actual name because I'm respectful. So basically, he's not going to be he's not going to be fusion summoned conventionally. He's actually going to be summoned off of Beatrice, which you'll see later. Same with actually Virgil. You're not going to summon either of these guys in the conventional way, but they do have very good effects. Like, for instance, Purple Dante or Dante Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. Once per turn during either... Hold on. Cannot be special summoned by... So he cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effects. Also, so the targeting thing actually does help. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can send one Burning Abyss card from your hand to the graveyard and then draw one card. That's actually very good. And if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. It's very good. He's actually a very decent card. Same with Virgil over here. So he draws a card if he's destroyed by card effect, and he can send a Burning Abyss to the grave and draw a card. He's also can't be targeted. He's kind of like the all-in-one. He's very good. And then Virgil over here, Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. I love Virgil. He looks awesome. He's got a guitar and everything. You can, once per turn, you can discard one Burning Abyss card and then target a card your opponent controls, or in their graveyard, shuffle it back into the deck. That's very good. Also, if this card in the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send, and send it to the graveyard. Yeah, you can draw one card. So they both kind of draw cards. They're very good. Very, very decent. I put Virgil and Dante in the extra deck. They're very, very decent cards. A lot of people don't use Virgil. I like Virgil. So next up, we've got our bread and butter. This is Dante. Dante is so easy to make. Just 2 Burning Abyss monsters. 2 level 3s, which is so ridiculously easy to get on the field. Basically, when Dante's summoned, you want to summon him in defense position. He has a higher defense stat, just overall better that way. But you can choose a number from 1 to 3 and then mill that many cards from the top of your deck. And then until the end of this turn, he gains 500 attack for each. That's actually very good, because you can just mill Burning Abyss, hopefully get their effects off. And if he attacks, he goes back into defense. He like retreats, and at the end of the battle phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss card in your graveyard, and then add it to your hand. So he's actually very good. Dante's amazing, but if you have Dante on the field, you can actually overlay him with Beatrice. Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. So she's not a Burning Abyss monster. So Burning Abyss do blow themselves up when Beatrice is on the field. You just need to remember to play around that. But basically, if you summon her over Dante, which you always will, you can't use her effect the turn you summon her. That doesn't matter, because basically you end your turn, right, with Beatrice on the field. And once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach material from this card and just send one card from the deck to the graveyard. It's very good, because if you detach a Burning Abyss monster, you can use that effect on top of the one that you send to the graveyard, which is very, very, very good. So, like, you could send Farfa, get rid of something. She's kind of like, immediately use any Burning Abyss effect you want. You could also, if this card is destroyed by opponent's battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Burning Abyss from the extra deck, ignoring a summoning condition. So that's how you summon Purple Dante or Virgil. When she's sent to the graveyard, she just immediately summons Dante or Virgil, which is completely great, and absolutely great. We're almost done here. It's kind of a long video. These deck profiles end up going for a while. Super Quantal Mech Beast Grand Pulse. Level 3 Xyz. Cannot attack unless it has Xyz material. Once per turn, you can detach an Xyz material and then target one spell and trap card on the field, destroy it. That's very good. It can be used during either player's turn. If this card has the second thing doesn't matter. He kills back row. Super duper good. The Phantom Knight's Breaksword, also very, very good card. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, then target one card you control and one card your opponent controls and destroy them. So that's very good. Destroy a Burning Abyss and destroy a card your opponent controls. If this Xyz summon card is destroyed, so that doesn't matter. Basically, just attach a material and then get Burning Abyss effects, which is very good. Then we've got the Link Cherubini, the Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss, which is very cool. Cherubini's awesome. People were begging for Cherubini for so long. We finally got it. Maybe a little too late, but, you know. Monsters this card's point to cannot be destroyed by card effects, so it prevents its Burning Abyss from blowing themselves up. Also, if this card would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard instead. So kill a Burning Abyss instead of Cherubini. You can send one level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then target one Burning Abyss monster on the field, and it gains attack. So he can, basically, if he's hit for an attack, he can send, like, a high attack monster like Seer, 1600. He gains 1600 attack, which is very good. And you get Seer's effect. He's, amazing. And then finally, we've got Underclock Taker here. This is the last thing here. It helps Burning Abyss get a little stronger. So that is going to be it for our deck profile. Thank you if you've watched all the way to the end. It means a lot to me. We've hit 12 subscribers. That's a high number. Let's aim for 100 by the end of the year. As always, see you guys later. Bye-bye.